But we got to talk about this producer manipulation because a lot of contestants are being much more open and apparent on Twitter, on social media. Some of the contestants even tweeted, like, that's not Sally's suitcase. You really believe this? So it's really hard to take this show seriously. But what's going on behind the scenes? We gotta read the lines between Teddi's caption on Instagram this week because she is straight out calling BS on this show. So we all know she left Paradise in a shocking and sudden way this week with little to no context. She was interested in going on a date with Rodney, so she broke things off with Andrew because she just wasn't all in with him. However, Rodney seemed to want to take her on the date, but she did the Irish goodbye and left with no context. So Teddi put on her Instagram, indirectly but directly, shading the producers when she says, "Something I'm proud of, leaving environments that are cruel to me and the people around me, sticking to my boundaries no matter how many times people in authority tried to cross them." So I gotta hear your thoughts, Blakely, Kayla. Like, is Teddi gonna get in trouble for this? You know, is she being too direct? What do you think she's saying between the lines?
No, she's just passive enough, I think, to not get in
Let it
trouble
fly.
for. Yeah, because I feel like there's so many different ways you could take that. She could easily come up with some kind of BS answer of what she's referring to. I mean, obviously people are putting two and two together since it came right after her exit. There's clearly something going on, like you said, behind the scenes and reading between the lines. I mean, the only thing that I'm thinking is because I've seen what your theory was, Zach. I've seen you talk about it.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
why don't you guys share what you think is going on?
Yeah.
Zach, you want to go first?
I mean, I'll just say, like, the theory and what I was told months ago is that, the producers really wanted Teddi to be with Andrew. That was kind of the plan all along, because it seems like, the producers do have a kind of a say sometimes who gets roses and which couples they want to kind of formulate. I mean, I kind of believe that they were setting up Genevieve and Aaron for months before as well. So I think from what I was kind of told, it seems like Teddi, the producers wanted her with Andrew, and they were maybe going to make her look bad if she switched to Rodney, and I think that's what maybe set her over the edge, and why she decided to leave, because it was no longer in control. So you can see that her caption says that she sticks to her boundaries no matter how many times people in authority try and cross them. She stuck to her boundaries, she left the show, she knows her worth, and I'm Team Teddi on this one. Kayla, what do you think?
Yeah. Totally. Sorry, we just got a comment. I guess I'll read it and then I'll say what I have to say. Is it true producers didn't allow Teddi to pursue Rodney? Well, yeah, Zach just kind of answered that. Herm Doug. But yeah, I mean, I think that for me, like, there's just so much like that has been said around like producers and what they don't let you do and what they let other certain people do, and like kind of like the good edit certain cast members get and how other cast members are treated, like and so I can definitely see how, like, if I were Teddi and I know Andrew is such a fan favorite, he's going to be favored in the edit, and I might be casualty in making audiences look at Andrew like, oh my God, look what happened, it's so sad, like, and kind of indirectly villainizing Teddi. So there's that. But I also think that what's interesting too, and I think I heard Dave Neal talk about this, so I'll just give him his props, but I think there's also not just Teddi and Andrew storylines, but I think they're also thinking of who they have in mind for Rodney. So they're like, no, we have so-and-so and so-and-so set up for Rodney, so you can't date him because X, Y, and Z are going to show up and date him too. So there's not just Andrew and Teddi, but there's other people that they have in the hotel in the wings. So there's that. But
Kayla, you're getting it. You're really on the ball here. You're spot on.
Okay. So I just feel like, too, I think like we've heard other like alumni talk about just how they were treated poorly by producers in Paradise, and people like McKenna or Goose, I can't remember his real name, sorry.
Chris Brandon.
And just like, yes. And like, I don't know, it's not far-fetched for someone like Teddi to be like, yo, y'all treat me like trash, so I'm leaving. Like, I'm not going to allow myself to stay in this situation and be used. And I give her total props. and it's not anything against like an Andrew who obviously would be treated probably better because again of his, him being a fan favorite, or even like
Following.
someone like Michael A. His following, even like Michael A. I saw some tweets of Michael A. saying like, against Genevieve, like Genevieve saying like, I wanted to leave so many times, and Michael A. is like, we're lucky, and it's like, yeah, you're lucky because you are. You're a fan favorite. They're going to treat you a certain way. You're getting the grocery store Joe edit here. But like a Genevieve is being used, so it's like there's definitely a narrative, of how the producers operate, and I think it's completely true.
But
I feel like it is what it is.
wasn't Teddi also considered a fan favorite? She never got a bad edit. She got a great edit, I felt like, on Clayton's season.
She
right?
did.
She was on Clayton's season.
She got like
And
the
so-
first impression rose, and then she got no
Yeah.
airtime, and then she just didn't really continue on social media with the show. And I think that the show Bachelor in Paradise wants to favor their highest influencers because those are the people that are going to promote the show, and that's the reason why Ashley and Jared were brought in, because the majority of the people on the show don't have enough followers, and they want to use them as a marketing tool to get more ratings for the show.
But my thought process is this: I think that there's two types of people who are on the Bachelor franchise, and I would say that there's a more of one group. There's a group that I feel like is similar to Teddi, where they allow the producers to manipulate / make decisions for them. At the end of the day, the contestants are the ones in power. They can say how I feel. I could be wrong, but like they physically do not have to go on a date if they don't want to go on a date. They physically do not have to take somebody if they don't want to take somebody.
They don't have to do anything they don't want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
So I would say most of the contestants are in this group that are easily manipulated, maybe not easily, but allow the producers to make their decisions for them. And there's a small select group, and I can't think of who many people, but Gabby is one that comes to mind, where Gabby does what Gabby wants to do. She cusses on it. She called somebody a baby back bitch. She did this, that, she did a lot of things that other contestants and leads have never done on the show. And that's because she wanted to be who she wanted to be, and she did her own thing, and I'm sure she was guided, and I don't know in which direction, but there's a clear contrast between how Rachel was the Bachelorette and how Gabby was the Bachelorette. At the end of the day, if you want to go on the date with Rodney, go on the date with Rodney. And Teddi, I don't feel like there's a way to make Teddi come out to looking like a villain. She is kind, she is sweet, she's innocent to me, she's very wholesome and well-rounded. I don't know that there would have been any way for producers to manipulate, and again, there's obviously the powers that be. Producers can plant stories here and there and make people go against her. I understand that there's ways for that to happen, but just I feel like in my heart there was no way that they could have actually made Teddi into some kind of negative villain, and if they did, nobody would have believed it.
It would. I agree. It would have been really interesting to see Teddi with a villain kind of edit, but I think that they can do anything because editing is that powerful. I mean, even Kira had the bum bum bum. They could put background music, which influences what people say. And I guess I want to say in the producer's defense, because I want to be able to play devil's advocate. They have a show to put on. They have a job. They are getting paid for this. We really don't know the producers. Let me finish. We really just don't know what the producers' contract is and what their job obligations are. And if their higher ups from ABC or Warner Brothers are telling them, this is what you need to do to be a Bachelor producer. And, obviously they definitely crossed the line. 100% they do. There's been way too many contestants that have spoken out. But I think that sometimes, you sign up for this TV show, which has the biggest reputation for being producer controlled. This is kind of how it goes. And this is why I encourage people to just not go on The Bachelor or apply for the show anymore, because it's clearly
just
become
don't go
too toxic.
show.
And that's the reality of what it is. And that's something that Jason A should have also figured out before he went on the show if he did his research.
Period. Make it full circle, Zach.
Full circle. And
No,
Teddi also
it's
didn't
true.
promote
Yeah.
the show. She didn't promote
too.
anything about it, which I think everyone thought was really odd. So clearly she had a fallout with the producers, which she made clear in her Instagram caption. We're not really here to talk for Teddi or talk for anyone at all. Like, obviously, we have some inside scoop that we're able to shed light on, but at the end of the day, we're not there on the beach, so we don't know everything that goes down. We're just here to break it down and, bring all the facts and context that we're aware of.
Yeah.
Are you finished?
Blakely, you're gonna
want to
say
make sure I don't
something?
interrupt Zach. I was just gonna say, I think that we're giving just so much power to the producers in terms of being so afraid of the editing. But again, obviously, I'm not on the beach.
When you're on the beach and you're afraid of the editing and you're afraid of the producers and you're not a fan favorite, you're more likely to do what they say so that you can stay on the show longer and because you want to get a good edit. All the contestants talk about this on the podcasts. Don't apply for The Bachelor unless you wanted to F with your mental health. Period.